Since 1929, the USC School of Cinematic Arts has fueled and mirrored the growth of entertainment as an industry and an art form. The school offers comprehensive programs in animation and digital arts, critical studies, directing, producing, interactive media, production, and writing, all backed by a broad liberal arts education in each field.
CU at USC is brought to you by the University of Southern California's School of Cinematic Arts.
Coming up next on CU, we've got an all-star comedian talking about what got her into the biz. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome to CU. It's your Friday edition, and you know you're excited to be here. Don't act like you don't want to be here. Anyway, today on our show we have Andrea Wachner here. Yes, but yeah. Are we? Hi Andrea, how are you?
Hi.
Good.
Are people not excited that it's Friday?
I mean, I should be excited. I'm excited that it's Friday. I mean, we've got a lot of exciting stuff happening on Friday this weekend. I mean, I don't know. What are you doing this weekend?
Is it Friday? I don't know what day
it's
it is.
Friday.
It really is?
Legit, yeah.
Oh my God, I totally thought it was like Tuesday.
It's not. It's
so
not.
Tomorrow's a weekend?
Tomorrow's the weekend. Yeah.
I think I'm going to finally see that Facebook movie this
You
weekend.
know what? Funny story. I was at LAX this morning and I saw one of the Winklevi twins. Not like the real guy, but the guy that played the twin.
Are you spoilering for me right now? Because I had no idea what you're talking about.
No, there's twins in the movie.
Yeah.
And I saw one of them.
Did you?
I mean, no.
anything?
No. I mean, I just saw him. I didn't like yell out his name.
Did he see you?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, man.
It's okay. Anyway, so you should see it. So,
Okay.
Andrea, tell me this amazing, fantastic story that involves you wanting to go to your high school reunion.
No.
Or
not
wanting to go.
wanting to go.
To your high school reunion, and you decide, hey, listen, I'm going to bring a stripper and have her pose as myself. Tell us about how did that come about? How did that come about?
Do you want the short, medium, or long answer?
I want it all.
So basically, I had graduated from NYU.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you guys consider us your rival school, whatever.
Something like that. I mean, I guess. It's cool.
From Tisch School of the Arts with a degree in dramatic writing, or as my mom likes to call it, unemployment.
Oh, I see.
And I actually had a double major in philosophy and a minor in art, so it was triple unemployment. And my mentor there actually took a shining to me. I'm very lucky. And he hired me right out of school pretty much to work with him on a show that's actually on air again for the third time right now. It's called Cubics, Robots for Everyone.
Wow.
Yeah. And everyone was everyone except for girls.
Right.
Of course. And I worked there for a long time, and I called it the Cartoon Sweatshop because there's the Cartoon Network where good cartoons are made, and then there's the place that I was enslaved for several years making cartoons for boys.
Correct. Now, is this Adult Swim, or is that another place?
This was at the time Kids WB,
yes,
which doesn't exist
I
anymore.
remember Kids WB.
And then it became Fox, and now it's whatever the
Jetix?
third
Something
thing
weird?
is, the third incarnation of that is. And, you know, it was a good job.
Yeah.
I was making televisions, then they were airing on the TV box, but after I stopped working there after several years, I was trying to think of a way. I didn't really think that working in kids TV was going to get me a job at SNL or any, you know, comedy writing wise where I wanted to be. So I was thinking about making a funny short video. I wanted to make a funny short video and I didn't know what to do. So I was just sort of had that in the back of my mind, and then one day the mail came, and as per usual, I was sorting through the mail and I got the invitation to my 10-year high school reunion.
Now, it's the 10-year high school reunion. I mean, usually I'm going to my 5-year. Oh my gosh, is that crazy? My 5-year in November. So 10 is the big Penny Ultimate. You didn't go to the 5, and you're from Los Angeles, right?
I don't think we had a 5. I wasn't invited to a 5 if we had a 5.
Yikes, that's pretty heavy.
So yes, I was living in New York. I still sort of live there and split my time between there and here. And
Sure.
but I grew up out here, so the reunion was out here at the Torrance Marriott.
Oh, cute.
Very swanky.
Very swanky.
Marriott, owned by Mormons. Did not know that.
I didn't
until
know that
after
either.
we got kicked out.
Fun fact.
So I got the invitation and I just freaked out the way I think any normal person does.
Right.
Not to put myself in the normal category, but I
Right.
think my reaction was pretty normal, which was to freak out.
Right.
I think I dropped that thing like it was covered in spiders, and I was just like, oh my god, no, I would never ever go to this, not in
Right.
a million billion years. How did they find me? How has it been 10 years?
Right.
Oh my god, no. And so I don't know why I didn't throw it away, but I didn't. I guess I just put it at the bottom of the mail stack, and 2 weeks later or something, it sort of resurfaced.
Wow.
And I think because I had disassociated myself entirely from it, like there was nothing on earth that would get me to go.
Right.
When I saw it that second time, it just looked like, that scene from Pulp Fiction with the glowing, it was like that. It was glowing at
your
me.
opportunity
it
to
was like,
really-
this is your golden ticket. So then it just became a very fun comedy writing exercise of what's the best, worst thing I can do with this.
Right. Now, when you brought the stripper named Cricket
Yes.
to the reunion, what were people, because you didn't go, but did you film it?
So basically what we did was I had a crew that was mostly friends of mine from film school that were out here. And I hired, actually the one person I hired was the sound guy from Punk'd, who does Punk'd, because I knew that was going to be the most integral thing, and that was the one thing I couldn't find just, through my network of friends. So from his suggestion, which was basically the most important thing that ever was said to me, advice-wise, Cricket had a wireless microphone that was in her bra, and then she had a tiny earpiece in her ear.
Right.
And then there were 2 cameras following her around all night, and I created this whole elaborate backstory about why they were there. They were shooting a fake documentary called Live to Work, Work to Live, that was about struggling artists from New York. And then I was upstairs in a hotel room that I had gone and staked out that was directly above the ballroom where the reunion was. For wireless reasons, it needed to be as close as possible, obviously. And then I had a monitor and a microphone, so I could see whatever the A camera, which was supposed to be what Cricket was seeing,
Right.
I could see, and then I could feed her information right into her ear through that microphone.
Right. So things that people were asking about you and that kind of thing.
I could give her answers.
Right,
so
and
she
you could give her answers.
Be convincingly
Correct.
me.
Now, I mean, when I think of a stripper going out in public, she might have normal clothes on, but did they know that she was a stripper, or did they know that, not that she was a stripper, that she was you as a stripper? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. To me, anyways. That makes perfect sense. People knew because 2 reasons. One was when you get the invitation to your 10-year reunion, or at least when I got the invitation, in it was a piece of paper that you got to fill out that was like a where you are now form.
Right.
And there were all these, ordinary questions about what you wanted to be when you were in high school and what you turned out to be and your greatest achievement and all of these sorts of questions.
Right.
And then a space for you to attach a current photograph of yourself.
Fantastic.
So I already knew what I was doing, so I had great fun filling that out. And it said, what did you want to be in high school? And I think I put actor. And then, what did you grow up to be? And I put in big letters, stripper. And then all the rest was about how proud she is to be a stripper.
Wow.
How proud I am, excuse me.
It would be you, obviously. You definitely.
To me, to be a stripper. And then I had Cricket give me a whole bunch of pictures of her to choose from for that picture, and I picked this really lovely one of her in like full-on dominatrix,
Beautiful.
like
Gorgeous.
stripper garb, and
Gorgeous.
the same boots that she wore that night, which are 8.5-inch platform patent leather stiletto heel boots.
Were they thigh high or no?
They're like knee high.
Because
I
thigh
think.
high is hot in the streets right now.
Well, she wears the knee high, and then she wore thigh high, like tight, sock things.
Very nice.
With them.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and then in addition to that, so all of those forms were collected and
Correct.
put into a little booklet that when you showed up at the reunion, you were handed.
Cute.
And so everybody saw that.
Right.
And then she told everybody
Right.
asks, so what do you do? And she's
Right.
like, I'm a dancer, I'm a stripper. So.
Wow. So now in the articles that I've read about sort of your saga, when you sought out this woman, you looked for someone that looked like you or could pose as you in sort of that state? How did you do that?
I guess I started off from a very naive place. I thought it was possible to find. Why not? Why wouldn't there be a stripper that looks like me? But you know what?
It's really difficult, isn't
challenge than I thought it was going to be. And you know, there's a little bit of downtime where I was still in New York between the genesis of the idea and doing it. There were about a couple months where I was like, I should be preparing. I should be doing something. What can I do? And so I started calling places to try and find a girl. Like I called, like, you know, those companies where guys hire their strippers for bachelor parties, or like Central Casting. I figured the line between acting and stripping.
Like, did you go in the back of the New York Daily and
went
like
on the
look on the personal ads,
information
or what?
comes from?
Just all kinds of stuff.
The internet mainly is where I was looking for strippers, and that did not go over well.
I didn't think so. I'm sure you got a lot of lewd links that came up after that.
I got hung up on a lot when I made those calls. And so then, you know, I came out here specifically to find my doppelganger, if you will, and I was taken to Jumbo's Clown Room, which, you know, I had never heard of before that night, but in retrospect was the ideal place to go. And I don't really think that Cricket looks that much like me, but she was clearly the one, if you will.
It was her. And now I saw the side-by-side of her on the pole, and then you standing next to her, and this is a very stoic with this pencil skirt on, just kind of like this. And I mean, did you watch her act before
She's not
you
an
approached
actor.
her? Well, her on stage performance, so to speak.
I mean, you can't, if she's on the stage, you can't not watch her.
Wow,
she is amazing.
What is her song of
choice? The things that she can do with her person defy the laws of gravity. I'm fairly certain. She does this thing where I don't know if you've ever been there. If not, you should go check it out.
I'll have to check it out. What street is that on?
It's on Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay.
Where dreams come true.
Okay.
Everybody got a dream on Hollywood. So she can do this thing where she gets up. It's just like a little stage. Yeah. And then the edge of the stage has like this brass bar.
Yes.
And she gets up on top of that brass bar.
Hands. Gripping it.
No, with her feet in those boots.
Okay.
Holding on to nothing. Wow. She stands on a sphere of brass, and then puts her hands on the ceiling.
Wow. And
does a backflip back up onto the pole.
Cricket.
Upside down, lands upside down. I mean, like, how does a human being do that?
And you know what? And the crazy thing about that is, have you seen on the YouTube? I give every internet euphemism the Wikipedia, the Google, the YouTube. They have the, stripper Olympics. Have you seen that?
Yes, she told me, and in fact on that forum, I said that she was competing in the Pole Olympics was what I was told it was called, and I thought that maybe should be our follow-up documentary, but she won't do it.
Ah, Cricket. Well, we've got more about Cricket, the strippers, and more about Andrea, what she's doing coming up next on See You at USC.
You're watching Trojan Vision.
Hey, I'm Scott Weinger. I'm the voice of Disney's Aladdin, and I'm telling you to watch Trojan Vision, if you trust me. Do you trust me?
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to See You at USC. We're sitting here with Andrea Wachner talking about her stripper escapades and where they have taken her since then. So when we left, we were talking about Cricket, and you found her at Jumbo's Clown Room, correct?
Yes.
And she was doing this whole stripper Olympics thing. Now, the reaction of people after she went to the reunion and schmoozed everybody and that kind of thing, what was sort of the fallout from it? I mean, you had tons of people calling you on press and media and that kind of thing. I mean, how did that all go down?
That actually didn't go down for a very long time. For a really super long time, there was no aftermath at all. I went back to New York and I started the sort of incredibly excruciating experience of post-production on my film.
Yes.
And then I moved out here, and it was the first thing I made in post was a trailer for it, thinking that it was a sales trailer. And it was 2 minutes long, and then somebody told me to make it longer, so I made a 6-minute version, and I put that up on YouTube, and it sat up there for, the YouTube.
The YouTube, thank you.
And
I really appreciate that.
It sat up on the YouTube for probably a year and a half. And, slowly after a really super long time, I heard that someone from my high school had found that trailer. I don't know how, but that it was sort of making the rounds of people from my high school. And they were not so pleased with it. Well, some people thought it was funny, but the people who were at the reunion in particular were not so happy about it.
Sometimes I feel like people like that go to the high school reunions, they take it very seriously.
Very seriously, which is why I did it. I mean, I really enjoy people. I really don't enjoy people who have no sense of humor about themselves or what they're doing, but I do really enjoy getting up in that. So, so then after, it had been at least a year and a half or 2 years.
Right.
I had finished a cut of the doc. I had submitted it to 11 film festivals and somehow gotten rejected from like 12. I don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah, how is that possible?
And then I was so disappointed that it didn't get in anywhere, and I guess I thought to myself, like, well, I guess that's the end of that. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, well, not really out of nowhere, but the quick answer is out of nowhere, this sort of media whirlwind happened.
Right.
And that was insane and super fun.
Right.
And
so,
it's clearly still going on.
Because
I'm on USC TV, which is pretty cool.
It's fantastic. So, I mean, when people were asking you questions, like, I mean, you were doing interviews and things like that, what were some of the craziest things that some of these reporters asked you about this whole experience?
Well, the craziest, for sure, was the second time I did Good Morning America. We did Good Morning America the first day of all the craziness. Like, literally, my phone started ringing at 5 o'clock in the morning, which was my landline, which is unlisted, and I've never even given out to anybody. They searched my DMV records and found my landline phone number and started calling. It was crazy.
I think I'm terrified of Good Morning America right now.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just Good Morning America. It was a bunch of different shows.
Wow.
And at 9 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning, there were 3 camera crews in my living room, and I was literally in my pajamas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I did Good Morning America that day. I didn't maybe aired the next day. And then it was the most bizarre thing ever to be watching it on TV, the segment, at home, and to see Ms. Diane Sawyer start speaking to you through your TV.
Right.
It was very strange, and she said she loved the story and she wanted me to come and sit on the couch with her.
Oh my gosh, Diane!
So she meant it. She invited Cricket and I to New York, which was awesome because Cricket had never been to New York.
Oh, wow.
So I got to introduce her to New York City, my city. And so we flew to New York and we came, we were so excited, and there were like 1,000 red flags that something was up, but you just don't ever really want to think that that's the case. And Diane tried to punk us the way that I guess I punked my class, and I sort of figured it out, before it was way too late, and I handled it, I think, like a champ to the point where it was boring, and they never aired it.
When you say that she tried to punk you, what did she do? What did they do?
So basically, we were doing this pre-tape segment, and she's sitting next to me. Cricket is where you are.
Yes.
And
Diane Sawyer's sitting
Diane
here.
Sawyer's here, and she starts asking really weird questions, like questions that we don't know how to answer. They're just not good questions.
Okay.
And
they're not very Diane Sawyer-y.
Yeah, kind of like, Diane, what's going on here?
Right.
And then I could hear the voice in her earpiece talking to her a lot, to the point where she's not listening to my answers. There's no dialogue like you and I are having right now.
Right.
But I just think like her director who's in the booth is giving her lots of criticism or something in her ear, taking her away. And there's all this chatter, and the questions get weirder and weirder. I don't even remember what they are. This is all on my blog if you want to read it, the whole thing spelled out.
And what's your blog?
IHateSelfPromotion.com.
Okay, thank you.
And so basically, after 3 or 4 very strange questions, she looks at me. She stares at me in the eyes. I'm like, Diane,
what are you
we're
doing?
having a moment. She grabs my hand, and we start running through the studio. And I'm like, where are we going? In my mind, I'm thinking, oh my God, they have set up a pole in one of the secret rooms, and I'm gonna have to do some sort of pole dance, and this is terrifying to me.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm in like a dress and not prepared for it at all, and I don't know how to do it. But she runs us into the control room, and there are two people, one of whom I recognize right away as being one of the guys that was at the reunion. Who is actually, well, he's an identical twin, and I can never tell them apart, so I don't know which one it was. But I'm fairly certain he was the twin that was hitting on Cricket all night, which is so funny.
Isn't that hilarious,
yeah,
right? Because in high school, come on, was this guy smoking hot or what?
I didn't even know. And it turns out the other, who was a woman, was also from my class, and I never knew her at all. My class was really big. So I realized right away that they had been feeding her information in her ear, that she was asking these weird questions about my high school, but they didn't make any sense. And then it made sense in retrospect. She picked two people who didn't know me at all.
Wow.
So they weren't giving her good, like they literally at one point were like, so you're Jewish. Like,
Yes.
okay.
Say more about that. Like, really?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. It was so weird. And so I realized, like, oh, ha, ha, ha. She brought two people from my class to punk me that they're in the booth giving information. And I was just like, oh my God, it's so exciting to see you and reunite here in New York City in the control room of Good Morning America.
Completely awkward.
And then that was basically it.
Wow.
There was no follow-up. It was just very strange. The whole thing was it was super disappointing for us because we were excited to be on Good Morning America for real, and they never aired the segment.
Wow.
So
gosh.
that was very weird.
Speaking of that, let's get to the contact information.
Sure.
I always forget this. I'm such a silly goose. Anyway, so if you want to talk to us here at Trojan Vision, you can go to www.trojanvision.com, or you can email us at cu@trojanvision.com. Please.
That's
right there. You see it?
right there.
It's beautiful. That's beautiful. Anyway, so
That camera, by the way, it's self-serving.
it is.
There's self-servicing. There's nobody
But it's
behind
working.
it.
Is that bizarre? Look at
Oh
that.
my God, it just turned on. Wait.
Wait.
And
And
then,
now it's here.
oh my
And
God.
then now we're gonna go over here. Are we? No. Anyway, so
This is the USC student who didn't pay their tuition.
no, she dropped the class. She dropped the class.
shame.
Anyway, so do you and Cricket still keep in contact?
Oh my God, totally. She is the coolest. I just absolutely love her. And,
Now, when you came out, now you're here in LA for how long?
I mean, I live here most of the time.
You live here most of the time, so you and Cricket are gonna go get a drink later, or what?
We don't, of course,
Are you gonna go
she
see her
lives
show,
on the east
or
side and
what?
I live on the west side, and you know how that is.
I do.
Nobody likes to
Turf
try
war.
and cross the 405.
It's a turf war.
Either way. So I know it is. We're like East Coast, West Coast gang rap war
Yeah,
stuff.
I was watching Notorious the other day, so that's real. It's real.
Don't mess.
It's real.
So we don't see each other as often as at least I would like to see her. I can't
Right.
speak. She has not given me authority to speak on her behalf yet. But
see.
I have given her authority to speak on my behalf. So we don't see each other as often as we would like. But yeah, we do see each other.
Right.
She's awesome.
Yeah. So now as a result,
She gets herself into some crazy funny antics.
I feel like I mean, a stripper named Cricket. That's a story within itself.
Well, that's not
think you
her
should
real
write the
name.
show.
And actually, she had a stage name that when I originally met her at Jumbo's, her name was Quinn.
Wow.
And after all the media attention, people started calling Jumbo's and asking when Cricket was dancing, and they were like, "Who is Cricket? There's nobody that dances here named Cricket." And she actually had to change her stage name to Cricket is what everybody calls her. It's still a nickname. But
Wow, that's
yeah, it was
so
a big
crazy.
deal for her.
That's
I
so
felt bad.
crazy. So now, as a result of this whole thing, I mean, what has come about? I mean, I heard that there's some rumblings of a feature film being made, or of
Yeah.
the documentary being spread a little bit wider release, or what?
So basically, the president of Hollywood,
Yes. Which could be
he's a
number of
lovely
people.
man. He gave me a credit card
Wow.
that's just like has no limit. It's good anywhere.
Is it a black card? I feel like does it look sexy?
It's not even black. It's sparkles. It's
Ooh.
like glittery.
Wow.
Yeah. And I can pretty much do whatever I want now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It is. So then what are you going to do? I mean, do you want to make this
what
into
should I do?
serious movie? I mean, do you want to,
A very serious comedic movie.
yeah, very serious
A very
movie.
seriously funny movie. I would
would.
love to make it into a very funny, seriously funny movie. And I have written it, and now it's just a matter of finding someone who actually.
You know who
Well, I
should
guess I
play
could use
you.
my credit card, but it's my credit card.
Right. You could buy an apartment, whatever.
Yeah.
That
who
would be
should
great.
play me? It's a fun game to play.
This is seriously Anne Hathaway.
You think?
I do. I mean, did you see her chest in Brokeback Mountain? She's great. She's great. I'm just
Wait,
saying.
so she should play me or she should play cricket?
Well, she should play you, and then they should do the split screen like they did in The Social Network.
I haven't seen it. Don't spoil it. Quit spoiling it.
I'm not. No spoiling. I'm just saying that the one guy played two people. So I'm just saying, you know, they could dirty up Anne Hathaway a little bit.
Yeah.
And
oh, you think she should play both parts?
she should play both parts.
See, I think the fun
agree.
is that it's a buddy, like you get two funny roles for women, which is
Correct.
so, I think, rare.
I agree.
That there's even one, let alone two.
Or you could always do Tina Fey. That would be funny.
Tina Fey would be appropriate except for the age thing.
I
see that.
I see that. That would be bizarre. I feel like Anne Hathaway in glasses, we could do that.
I was banking on, well, I guess it was dumb to bank on it, really. This is why I don't play the stock market.
Of course not.
But I, when asked that question the first time, I was like, well, Natalie Portman, of course.
Oh, that's a good one.
She's a Jew, I'm a Jew, she's a vegan, I'm a vegan, it's perfect.
And you guys both love New York. I think
And we
that's
love
an
New
easy
York.
thing. I like it. I really like it.
Yeah, she doesn't love it, so.
Too bad.
Whatever.
Well,
My new favorite is I can't even remember her name. She's my new favorite.
she's your new favorite. You can't even remember her name. I'm not judging you. I won't judge you. Nothing like that.
Names. She was on Party Down. Lizzie Kaplan.
Yes, I like her.
That's how slow my brain
She's super
works.
cute.
She's hilarious, and I
super
think
cute.
the perfect level of sort of snarky funny that would be perfect for me to
would
play
love
me.
it. Well, thank you so much for joining us today on See You at USC. This was super fun. I hope the movie gets made. This is a great
too.
story. Make sure you check out Andrea on her website. I think they'll have the Chiron
That
up
came-
one more time.
this one.
One more time?
Wait.
Is it one more time? We'll see you guys next week, next Friday on See You at USC. Bye.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This was really fun.
It was. Since 1929, the USC School of Cinematic Arts has fueled and mirrored the growth of entertainment as an industry and an art form. The school offers comprehensive programs in animation and digital arts, critical studies, directing, producing, interactive media, production, and writing, all backed by a broad liberal arts education in each field.
See You at USC is brought to you by the University of Southern California's School of Cinematic Arts.